So, how long does it take to be sued by Nintendo for recreating a classic game? Well, we will find out in the next video, but in this video, we are going to give Nintendo the evidence they need on a plate.
Somebody once told me that what the fuck are those?
So, I always wanted to make my own games, but making games was reserved for prodigies like the creators of Doom. But the times have changed. You want to learn how to code free videos because you're a dumb lazy shit? You want a game engine? You want an operating system? You want to make art? You want to edit videos?
It's free real estate.
And on top of all of this, the average gamer is sitting on a computer that has the processing speed of the fastest supercomputer back in the year 2000. The ASCII white. That's right, this thing right here. Although I'm below average, so I'm still rocking an ASCII red. So yeah, fuck all you ASCII white people. Oh fuck. So needless to say, I don't have an excuse anymore.
Just do it!
So I started out by learning the basics of Blender.
G'day!
After which I just copy-pasted Polygon Runway's inputs. It's absolute pure gold for a learning process, just copying someone to learn some great tricks. To learn the Godot game engine, I just slapped my basic understanding of programming onto it. You know, stuff like conditionals, loops, as well as writing basic functions and classes. And just like that, I had a game. Nope.
I believe I can
It became a complete mess. You know, knowing the basics of programming is great, but it will only get you so far. As it turns out, there is such a thing as game programming patterns to neatly organize your code. Who would have thought? So let's learn some good habits, starting with the most popular pattern I hear the most, finite state machines. Basically, it just allows a game object to behave differently depending on which state it is in, and transitions can only be made to certain states. To learn this pattern, I thought I would remake the classic Nintendo game Balloon Fight. The concept of the game is simple. You need to pop the enemy's balloons and prevent your balloons from being popped. We can deduce that the player has a running state, a sliding state, a standing state, an air state, and a f***ing hilarious death state. So back in Godot, we have the character implemented with a finite state machine. With a debug panel we can see exactly what state the player is in and whatever properties we would like to keep track of. We can now easily specify the behavior of each state. For instance, you can't move in the air state unless you flap in a direction, sliding makes you decelerate, the maximum speed you can move at in each state, etc, etc. Obviously, we can apply the finite state machine to the enemies as well. So the enemies have an inflating state, a chasing state, a doofus state, a parachute state, and a death state. To make the enemies chase us really simple, you just... What the So now we got some enemies with state machines. If you pop the balloons, they float to the ground, inflate a new balloon, and come back stronger like a sail. Because you know what they say.
Defeating a sandwich only makes it tastier. Go.
I'm sure you haven't noticed, but if you have a keen eye like me, you would have noticed that the player kinda looks like Mickey Mouse, eh? So the time has finally come to add... Wait, what? You can't see it? Like, wait, let me show you. You see, these are his ears, over here, and this over here is his body. You still didn't see it? Okay, now you're just being a dick. Like I was saying, the time has finally come to add art to the game. So I modeled some islands and the player with animations. Because of the already implemented finite state machine, all I had to do was add a line of code to play the animation associated with the certain state. Done. And here is the cool trick. If you use a texture that consists out of a few colors, you can make a new texture in a minute by just changing the colors and swapping this texture for the old one. And the whole world has a new color now. And now I can use this to indicate that the new level has started. To finish the game, I implemented a horrible brute force algorithm to place the islands randomly. It blindly guesses a new random position, and if the distance between this new position is far enough from the other islands, the island is created.
We're back from the dead.
Hell yeah.
So this was a lot of fun to make, and the purpose was just to learn some good habits and share some things I find interesting with you guys. For now, it's on to the next game to learn some new good habits to eventually become less of a poop game developer. Like or dislike the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and fuck you YouTube for removing the dislike button. Fuck you, you know why you did it, fuck you.